Good afternoon, YouTube. Yes, it's been a while since I made a video, and I do apologize for that, but I've been pretty busy over the summer. But anyway, I just couldn't resist making this video when I seen this the other day on this abandoned building that was part of the old Dayton Daily News, putting a for sale sign on this piece of shit that should have been tore down after it was damaged via Steve Roush in a demolition about 4 or 5 years ago. And the reason why this really stands out, this is not the way to do it, to put a for sale sign on this building, because what ultimately is going to happen, which I've discussed this during the other videos that I've covered this. I'm in downtown Dayton at the old Dayton Daily News site and building. But you know what ultimately is going to happen here, as soon as they can find somebody to pay the tab for the demolition bill, which is probably going to be, I'm going to estimate in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know if it would quite approach $1 million. They're just going to turn this into more housing. Charles Sims will probably get the land, and then just the utter lie of downtown Dayton continues. It's like, they're living the lie in downtown Dayton, Ohio, mentioning how great of a downtown we have, but yet there's still empty buildings galore. The schools in the city are horrible and continue to fall apart. Yes, that is the arcade right across the street. I'm going to talk about that again briefly here in a minute or two. But yeah, so it's like, you got a bunch of pathological liars that, they think they're so good at lying to the people. And, for those that don't come downtown, don't really see what's really happening, down here. Like this building, it's got some damage on it. This building's eventually going to get demolished. They'll remove the historical designation from the building, and my prediction is when this building's going to get developed, when this is going to get torn down. See, you even have electrical lines sticking out here and all that other metal. But my prediction is this building will get demolished if and when they ever do get the Dayton Arcade back open and running. And the thing I tell you, man, they are really beating that drum hard of the arcade. They're really trying to drum up the support and trying to make people think that it's really gonna happen this time. They say, oh, we got 3 developers working on it, but from the outside I don't see any work crews here. Of course, I've talked about how they're just going to scam the taxpayers out of the money to do it in hopes that these developers will eventually fund the rest of the project. But if and when they ever do get this reopened, I mean, that's when you'll see this building end up getting demolished. There really isn't that great of an incentive to tear it down right now in one of the worst blocks of downtown Dayton, because the Paul Deneau building, that big office tower, which I've walked through that on the inside, that closed about a year or two ago. And with the arcades, being vacant and being dead, there really just isn't that great of an incentive to do anything with this building. But I can guarantee you that once they end up, well, that once they get the arcade completed, that is if they ever do, they're saying it's around $70 or $80 million to get the arcade back up. But I think it's a lot more than that, and people do have, especially people that are older, they do have sentimental value to the arcade, you know, people that are from this region, which I understand. But the thing is, even if they do ever reopen it, what are they going to really put in there that's really going to make an improvement for the city? That's my big question with that is. And this place is, yeah, this building's unquestionably going to get, you know, demolished. It's a shame because this was a beautiful building, but thanks to Steve Roush and his cronies, they've only just did patchwork on the building just to try and make it look a little bit better, which in all honesty, it really doesn't. It's just going to end up, you know, getting demolished and vice versa, that sort of thing. And, you know, but compared to previous attempts that I've seen, you know, they are really trying to, you know, beat the drum of the arcade a lot more than I've ever, you know, seen, you know, because they seem to be really trying to make people believe this time that it's really going to happen. And I am skeptical still, because I've heard this, you know, for almost 30 years, we've heard this cry wolf story about the arcade, which that's what it is, that they're going to do something, you know, with it, and vice versa. And nothing ever happens with it. There's another for sale sign, although a much smaller one, not as big as the one on the other side of the building. But you can see the plywood covering this. Just the utter shamefulness of it, you know. So, I just want to present the perspective that the city leaders and the news media just will not tell you and be truthful about what's really going on here. I mean, would it be nice to see the arcade open? Yeah. But it would also be nice if Dayton was a family friendly city again, where families would want to live and people would want to live, and our schools were better. But because it's not, they have to constantly make up these lies about how great downtown we have. You know, there's a reason why they target and they pander to people like empty nesters and to the gay community, because those people, you know, their kids are either, the empty nesters, their kids are grown, or the gays aren't going to really have kids. So that's why they pander so much to them, because they figure, well, they could get them to stay more so than a family will ever stay here, because no family that's got any money is going to stay in the city, and they're, you know, with the city being in its current shape. But it will be interesting by this time next year to see if the arcade ever does get off the ground. If it does, as I mentioned, this place will finally get demolished. Really, Steve Roush and his cronies, they should have been made to have paid the tab, per se, as they are the ones that damaged this building and screwed it up. And so I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up on this one, and I'll be back with some other videos in the future. You know, I just want to, you know, show people what's really going on down here, and you know, debunk the lies and the myths, and show you people what's really going on. And that's it for this one.